page and share it, like it and share it. I haven't been live on YouTube yet, but I want to speak to you about something really important. So today I want to talk to you about something that I'm referring to as double trouble in our community. Sorry, for some reason my mount isn't working well. So I want to talk to you about double trouble. I made a commitment to this community to always speak up when my intuition made me feel like there was something wrong. And I took the time to read this article from the pediatrics, I believe it's like a news journal. There's this new article out, and I'm happy and grateful that I have the platform and the ability to be able to speak to this community in this way. But I read this article, and it seems like there's a bit of fear mongering going on in or against our community. So I want to take some time to talk to you today about double trouble. Have you ever been bullied into believing that something that you felt was wrong or you felt uncomfortable with was something that you just had to do? Because I have been feeling like this is something that they are trying to use against families and against breastfeeding moms in particular. I told myself about 3 years ago, I believe it was, when all of the anti-vax stuff started coming out, I told myself that we would never discuss vaccinations on this platform. Okay. And I told the community that as well. But right now, this article is saying that they are concerned with moms who are breastfeeding, calling it natural. They're saying that it's wrong. And they're concerned that moms who are breastfeeding are going to also be the same people who choose not to take this vaccine. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have any opinion on whether you take it or whether you don't. But what I will stand here and tell you is that don't sit back and be quiet if you have something to say about it. I don't know about you, but this sounds like an attack on our community. This sounds like they want to label us as people who are going to cause some trouble in regards to their plan. They've already put this out to be tested, and people have been harmed. There's many people who have been harmed. And so it's not even FDA approved. They don't have any ability to show that it's safe. They've been saying that it's safe, but people are getting harmed. So think about that, right? So I want to talk to you about double trouble, because what they did in this article was they took that information from mothers calling formula unnatural and calling breast milk natural, and they tried to compare it to mothers having that same idea of using breastfeeding versus vaccinating their children. And that's why I call this double trouble, because they're trying to put this together in one place where we can be attacked as families. And so I want to say, stand up inside of yourself and stand up against fear mongering, because it is so important that you make that decision for your own family. That is your choice. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do it or not to do it, but that is your choice. And I want to empower you to use your voice to make that choice. Albert Einstein once said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It's interesting how this is not the first time that they've been experimenting on people and families, right? If you think about what they did to substitute to substitute breast milk with formula, that was an experiment within itself. And we've already seen all of the terrible things that have happened with public health because of it. Okay, higher risks in obesity, higher risks in SIDS, higher risks in asthma. The list goes on and on. Okay, and so I'm not against people who choose formula. What I am against is the institution that tells us that it is the same thing as breast milk, because it's not. Okay. So I want you to think about a time when you've ever been pressured into doing something against your will. I want you to think about a time when you have felt like you're being bullied to believe in something that you didn't agree with. And as you think about this moment, it could be from your past, it could be right now what we're talking about, this particular subject. But I want you to write these things down. Number one, trust yourself, trust your gut, and trust your ability to make decisions for your family. Okay, you've been going this far and doing it for this long. So why wouldn't you be able to continue to do that with this particular situation? There are many things you can do to protect yourself from what is happening in this world right now. And opting in to take what they're offering when it has not been properly tested is not the only option that you have. Okay. Another option that you have is making sure that you are protecting yourself by keeping yourself away from large groups of people. Another way is making sure that you are properly boosting your immune system, which in this article, they also say, oh, well, maybe the breastfeeders will turn around and say that they are going to boost their immune system naturally. Guess what? This is the only thing that mainstream media is not telling human beings to do. So I'm going to do it because I know that you don't have my best interest at heart. Okay. Another thing is stand strong. Okay. There's going to be times where you're going to feel like you are going to crumble under the pressure of the decision that you have already made. I want to encourage you to stand up inside of yourself, affirm yourself, and trust that you are strong enough to continue nursing your baby. You're strong enough to make decisions for your family, and that you are strong enough to keep moving forward. The last thing is, I want you to, and write this down, I want you to demand that they do proper testing, not only on what they've created, but let's look at the truth here. The truth here is that over all of the decades that have passed by since the Industrial Revolution, they have never tested breast milk for the use of healing disease. They have never put investment of time and money into properly testing and trying to use breast milk or its foundational properties to heal disease. Why would they do this? Because it keeps profits out of the pockets of the people who make the big bucks. Okay. So demand that there is proper testing. Demand that they consider your breast milk. Demand that they take a look at what is it exactly that breastfeeding mothers want for their children versus just trying to disrupt what's going on in this world. Okay, we're not here to harm anybody. We're trying to make the world a better place by giving our babies our nutrients, giving our babies the immunity that we already have, right? So, you know, I took time to discover that everything I needed to be and do in this world and in this community was already inside of me. And it took me a long time to come to that realization. I'll be completely forthcoming with you. Today, right now, in this moment, was when I was like, no, enough is enough. I refuse to allow these circumstances to dictate the way I'm going to live my life. And I refuse to be quiet and silent when institutions have proved over and over and over again that they don't give a crap about our community, about women. They don't give, I mean, multiple times over and over, you see people being abused by institutionalized different scenarios, whether it's in the hospital, whether it's in church, whether it's in prison, I mean, time and time again, you don't see in any aspect that they are trying to heal and love and uplift and encourage. When do you see that? Right? So I know, and I knew this morning, and I wrote this speech, if you want to call it, last week, but I allowed fear to hold me back from saying what was really on my mind because I didn't know how people were going to take it in the community. I didn't know if it was going to be something that would, cause me to get flagged by YouTube or whatever. I'm done. You're going to hear me and see me a whole lot more now because I have made a decision inside of myself to not be quiet. And I'm going to tell you right now, as somebody who's been a speaker since she was a little girl in elementary school, that is a problem for everybody. I'm coming for them. And it's not people, it's institutions. This is not okay. It is not okay to try and create fear mongering for people who have chosen not to accept your products that have proven to harm people. Okay? I refuse to be silent. I hope you refuse to be silent. I'm here to inspire, encourage, and motivate you to trust yourself, to stand strong, and to demand proper testing. There is no reason why we should be subject to their ideas that they have of how they can fix what's going on in the world. Okay? I refuse to be a victim and I refuse to be someone who is quiet any longer. So I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and feel free to leave information in the comments if you'd like me to read. Feel free to leave your comments about any additional topics you would like me to discuss, because I'm going to be showing up and showing out on this channel. So thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm Vanessa Simmons, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.